Earlier in September, we made a video about how Boeing had purchased 17 Airbus A340-300s from Singapore Airlines as a part of a deal to sell the carrier at least 34 Boeing 777s. In June 1999, on the last day of the Paris Air Show, the deal, which had been kept a secret for about 4 years, was finally unveiled. The sale went through, much to Airbus's disapproval. But what happened to these jets in the end? Let's find out. The most logical conclusion is that these aircraft would go on to other operators. It would be a funny thought to imagine that Boeing would operate the aircraft itself or just scrap the jets. However, the deal had to be profitable, and it was always Boeing's intention to find an operator. Very much similar to what you would do when trading in your used car to get a discount on a brand new factory fresh model, Singapore Airlines A340s went to Boeing as part of a deal to acquire brand new 777-200s. According to data available on airfleets.net, it appears that the first step was for the aircraft to be transferred to BAHC, otherwise known as Boeing Aircraft Holding Company. This corporate entity is a wholly owned subsidiary of Boeing, which manages Boeing-owned used aircraft, including planes acquired due to a trade-in or a lease return. While we won't go in depth with a specific history of each of the 17 Airbus A340-300 aircraft, we can note some of the more significant operators. Several of these jets went to Gulf Air for a while. From there, some were passed on to Spanish carrier Plus Líneas Aéreas, while one went over to Mahan Air of Iran. Another jet was leased out by Boeing to Taiwanese carrier China Airlines. That jet is now Alpha 7 Alpha Alpha Hotel and belongs to the government of Qatar, otherwise known as the Qatar Emiri flight. According to our count, about 4 planes went to Dubai-based Emirates. As far as we know, this is where the jets spent their final years. 3 jets went directly to Cathay Pacific and spent about 8 years with the Hong Kong carrier before being stored in 2009. In 2011, however, these 3 jets all headed south across the Pacific Ocean to Argentina, where they flew with Aerolíneas Argentina until about 2017. A fair number of these jets ended up with wet lease operator Highfly, where they either still exist or have been scrapped. Highfly was able to lease some of the quad jets out to carriers like Estelar Latino America, Azores Airlines, XL Airways France, and Air Algérie. Even the Royal Australian Air Force leased some of these Highfly A340s. The Royal Australian Air Force used these as troop transports. One now exists as Victor Papa Bravo Mike Sierra with Las Vegas Sands, while another, Tango 7 Sierra Alpha Uniform, is listed as private. While the VP prefix of an aircraft registration code indicates registration in a British overseas territory, Las Vegas Sands is a casino and resort company. The presumption is that the jet is used to fly high rollers and VIPs to live the high life. It's important to note, however, that some of these jets have since been scrapped. It's actually quite incredible to examine all the airlines and operators this batch of A340-300s went on to fly with after being bought up by Boeing from Singapore Airlines. Were you at all surprised by some of these operators? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did you know that we publish over 175 stories every single week on simpleflying.com? Be sure to check the link in the description for more great stories just like this. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe before you go.